Hello, I'm Ingrid Lilligren. I'm a professor in the Department of Art and Visual Culture in the College of Design. I've been teaching at Iowa State University since 1993. I began my career here teaching ceramics. I'm still teaching ceramics, but I've had the great privilege over the last 7 years of serving as the chair of the department. I wanted to participate in this series of videos by showing you some of the work that I've done that spans a little bit of my career, but to talk more directly about some recent projects. Over the last about 12 or 14 years, I have been working with Braille. I use Braille as a way to communicate concerns I have about social, political, and cultural issues. Last summer, I was able to install an exhibition at Design on Main that surveyed about 10 years or so of my work in Braille and included 5 brand new pieces. I'm going to walk over to the wall in lovely downtown Ames, about a block from the Octagon. And the pieces that you're looking at on the wall were part of an exhibition that I had last year in the gallery at Design on Main. I had the opportunity to exhibit a large number of pieces that were held together by the fact that all of the work that I had in the exhibition uses Braille. I've been working with Braille as a way to talk about social, cultural, and political blindness for probably the last 12 or 15 years. These forms on the wall were part of a large wall text that was a response to an essay that I read in 2015 in the New York Times Review. It was written by Nell Irvin Painter, and she was talking, the title of the essay is "What is Whiteness?" And she was talking about how white people who identify as white, don't have the burden of race because it isn't part of the conversation. We talk about race when it's about African Americans, Asian Americans, and etc. I found her essay to be very provocative. I have thought a lot about white identity, my identity, and I wanted to open a conversation, or a way to have a conversation with my colleagues and my peers about this subject. So how to best present this in a visual way? These are porcelain discs or forms. They look a little bit like a megaphone. They have a wire that's fired into the back that allows me to create this very simple hanging system where I had several hundred of these on the wall at Design on Main. The firing system that I worked with is the most primitive that ceramics can provide, and that's called pit firing. And it produced shades of brown, tan, gray, black, even some white areas, weaving together all these colors, which helped me make the statement that I made in the text about the fact that all of these matters. Race is a cultural construct, and we can't talk about one aspect of it without thinking about all of it together. So that was a way to have that conversation in a visual way. So as I was saying, Deb Marquardt has been very gracious in letting me work with poems that she's written over, I don't know, probably the last 10 years or so. And this is one piece that was in the exhibition at Design on Main, and it's titled "Poor You." What was exciting about the exhibition and the opportunity to show so much work that was Braille was a discovery I made during the course of designing the pieces, that the Student Disability Resource Center has a Braille printer. And I was able to work with the staff there and printed all of the text, my statement, the poems that Deb had let me use, in Braille. And the hope was that people who are not sighted would come to the exhibition. I allowed everybody to touch anything they wanted to. But the piece that's right here that you can see has lights behind it to show the beauty of what Braille looks like to those of us who are sighted. But on the surface is a very thin piece of acetate that has Braille printing on it. So I was actually fortunate to be enough to be at the gallery at Design on Main when a woman who was profoundly blind came in and walked over and read the statement. Very, very, very exciting. Because it's exciting to have an audience that, for whom art isn't normally made. We are, when we talk about art, we often separate it into performing arts, visual arts, and I've always been interested in the tactile properties of the ceramic forms that I make, and because it's clay and it's fired and the surface isn't terribly fragile, you can touch everything and not ruin it. So I was very gratified to be able to take Deb's poems, translate them into a visual image, and then also be able to have a means for sighted and non-sighted people to experience the work. So exciting to have all these multiple levels of approach to my work. And I titled it, It's Not Neither. Let me just read the statement that I created for the show. Over the past 12 years, Braille has been used in my artwork as a symbol for cultural, political, and social blindness. Developed in 1829 by Louis Braille, it is comprised of a rectangular 6-dot cell on its end, with 64 possible combinations using one or more of the 6 dots. For the sighted, Braille appears as a rhythmic flow of patterns, a visual language evoking meaning. Using this system allows me to explore pattern, repetition, metaphor, and engage the visual structure in language. The title, It's Not Neither, comes from Zen philosophy's inquiry concerning the nature of existence, examining whether our experiences are real or an illusion, concluding it's not neither. The philosophy holds that there is no duality at the heart of existence, that it's neither reality nor illusion, in an inseparable relationship that contains all the complexity, contentiousness, conundrums, and wonders of experience. Several of the projects that were in the exhibition are a part of an ongoing collaboration with Iowa State University professor and poet Deborah Marquardt. Coming up with a title for an exhibition is a matter of trial and error. And a lot of my desire to make people begin to think about what I was showing, especially the piece, the large piece with the black and white discs about race. I didn't want to say, oh, look at me, here I am talking about race. Aren't I a good person? I wanted people to come at it and feel invited into an exploration and begin to come up with their own questions. Because it's when we all have those questions and come together that we have really productive conversations. Thanks.